Good Friday morning, everyone. Welcome back to Weather with Sim again. I hope you guys are all having a great day so far. I'm very sorry I didn't keep you guys updated on the weather the last 11 days, and that's because we were out of town. But I am finally back from my vacation, and I actually decided to edit and change my screen a little bit. And you guys might have liked the other screens, but the reason why I'm doing this is to see which one will be the best when I get older. So you guys can let me know down below which screen you guys think is the best, and that will help me out a lot on my channel. So if you guys want to leave a comment down below about that, that is certainly something very nice you guys can do for me. Plus, make sure to like and subscribe down below. And I am trying to get up to 500 subscribers before fall. So if you guys will please like and subscribe down below, that will be great. But let's go ahead and take a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook. And as you guys can see, we do have a marginal risk of severe weather across the plains today. This is pretty much from Friday into Saturday, and this includes places like eastern Montana back into all of North Dakota and South Dakota, into northwest Minnesota, back down through almost all of Nebraska, and even into northern Kansas will have the risk of severe weather today. That is also just marginal, so it's nothing really much you need to worry about. But it's still a severe weather threat, so you should still be weather aware if you live in any of those areas I did point out. So make sure to still be weather aware, even though it is a minor threat of severe weather. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at tomorrow's threat. And as you guys can see, this is pretty much from Saturday into Sunday. And this does include places like northwest Wisconsin, back into central and northern Minnesota, into eastern and as well as northern North Dakota, and even into northeast Montana will be included in a slight risk of severe weather, which is greater than a marginal risk, by the way. That's a level 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. So if you have any plans tomorrow across these areas, make sure to be weather aware, as we could, really be talking about some bigger hail, damaging winds, and maybe even a couple isolated tornadoes across this area as we do head into tomorrow. So, you should definitely be on high alert, at least even more on high alert compared to what we could see today. So definitely, be weather aware tomorrow if you live in any of those areas. Now, let's go ahead and look at day 3 now. That is from Sunday into Monday, which will be after tomorrow. And as you guys can see, we do have another slight risk of severe weather across places like northwest Minnesota, even into eastern and northern North Dakota too as well. So definitely another day that we need to watch for. Not as widespread, so it's not going to be, a big time severe weather event or anything like that, but it will definitely, be something to keep an eye on, as we still could see some isolated tornadoes, damaging winds, and even some hail. So, we should definitely still be watching Sunday very closely, but we even got that marginal risk extending as far down south as northern Indiana, even as far down south as West Michigan. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the excessive rainfall outlook. This is from Friday into Saturday, which will be for today. And as you guys can see, we do have a slight risk for flash flooding across the coast of the East Coast. But, this tropical wave out here in the Atlantic Ocean, which I know isn't showing on my screen, but this tropical wave around this area right here is going to shoot off some showers and thunderstorms along the East Coast. So, this could definitely bring several inches of rainfall to all of these areas. It's not likely that much rainfall will occur, but some localized amounts is possible, especially, the heavier areas in that tropical wave could very well, spread some very heavy rainfall. So something to really keep an eye on today. But you know, it's not going to be like anything in the tropical depression, storm, or hurricane. That is pretty much just rain, like I said. So if you live anywhere along the East Coast, but especially from Connecticut all the way down to South Carolina, be on the most high alert for some rainfall. And we actually do need the rainfall across this area, guys. Some of the states, like West Virginia, back into, you know, Virginia, into North Carolina, are in droughts. So, you know, we could very well see rainfall across those areas, like I said, but even up here into, you know, New Jersey, Delaware, and Maryland could even use some rainfall too as well. So that is definitely, you know, a good thing, because like I said, we do need the rainfall, but too much rainfall is a bad thing though. We even have two more marginal risks of flash flooding, so, you know, we should also be watching these areas too as well, but not as concerning though. So we, you know, don't really need to be taking these areas seriously, but still, you know, be on high alert if you live in any of these green colors, but especially this yellow color. Now let's go ahead and look at day 2 now, and as you guys can see, we do have a couple marginal risk of severe weather, one across the upper Midwest, which does include northern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, into portions of the UP and Michigan. We got another one down here across the Southwest, which heads from Arizona back into New Mexico, and then we got an isolated marginal risk, a very small one across portions here of Texas, mainly including the Houston area, and then we got another one across the East Coast again, but we even got a very small embedded slight risk in that marginal risk that does include places like Massachusetts, back into Rhode Island, and as well as Connecticut. That will be for tomorrow, like I said. Now, let's go ahead and look at day 3 now. This will be from Sunday into Monday, and as you guys can see, we do also have a marginal risk across the upper Midwest as we head into Sunday, but this one also spreads into portions here of the Great Lakes region, so still gonna be something to watch for. Could have a embedded slight risk for flash flooding somewhere in this area. We could even see that down here too, but I think the chances of one getting issued are a lot higher up here, so we're gonna be watching for a slight risk to potentially get issued somewhere in this area. But even up here into, you know, Arizona, back into New Mexico, into southern Utah, and as well as southwest Colorado, will need to be on high alert for flash flooding also, as we could get, you know, a few inches of rainfall. Now let's go ahead and look at the total precipitation, and as you guys can see, I know it doesn't show the total, you know, precipitation per color on here, but those whites that you see, that indicates almost no precipitation. Those greens that you see, that indicates about a trace of precipitation. Those blues that you see right there, that indicates about a quarter to a half an inch of rainfall. Those purples that you see, that indicates about an inch of rainfall. Those darker purples that you see indicate about an inch to an inch and a half of rainfall. Those red colors, if I not the maroon colors, indicate anywhere from about 2 to even 2.5 inches of rainfall. Those yellow colors that you see indicate anywhere from 4 to even 5 inches of rainfall. So, you know, definitely quite a bit of rainfall could fall. And like I said, we could very well see a lot of rainfall on the East Coast. So, you know, there's still going to be something to watch very closely. Even though, you know, we do very well need the rainfall, we could get too much rainfall from the system, as it does bring a lot of showers and even some thunderstorms across this area. So, you know, definitely be on high alert for flash flooding, even though you guys really need the rainfall across the East Coast. So I would very well, you know, be weather aware across the East Coast, but even, you know, across the upper Midwest, even though we might not be seeing much rain, we could very well see a lot of thunderstorms, and we can't rule out some localized amounts of, you know, 4 to even as much as 5 inches of rainfall, depending on how many storms you get. But, you know, even across Ohio Valley, we could get a couple inches of rainfall, and even down here towards the deep south and south southeast, we could even see a couple inches of rainfall. So definitely, something to watch across the entirety of the eastern United States. But Iowa is looking to stay the most dry, though. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the Cape, and this is pretty much convective available potential energy. It's what you need to fuel those thunderstorms, and I know it doesn't show the date on here, but this is pretty much going to be for Monday next week, which is only just a couple of days away from now. But as you guys can see, for Monday next week, we do see a ton of Cape across the upper Midwest and back into the Great Lakes region and even into the Ohio Valley. We do see a lot of Cape for Monday. We are mainly focusing on severe weather pretty much in this area right here. And let me go back. I'm sorry about that, but we could very well see severe weather across this area that I'm circling right there. So, we should definitely, be on high alert for Monday, as there could very well be severe weather, which the Storm Prediction Center doesn't, really have a severe weather threat out for Monday, but I'll let you guys know as we head into tomorrow, because that's when it will be on day 3. But those pink colors that you see right there indicates very extreme amounts of Cape. That's pretty much anywhere from 5,000 to 6,000 joules per kilogram. Those purple colors that you see indicate anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000 joules per kilogram. Those red colors that you see indicate anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 joules per kilogram. Those orange colors that you see indicate anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 joules per kilogram. And then those blue colors, at least those lighter blue colors that you see, like this color that I'm pointing at right now, indicate anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 joules per kilogram, and then those very dark blue colors indicate anywhere from 5,000 to 1,000 joules per kilogram. Now, let's go ahead and look at Tuesday. That will be after Monday, and as you guys can see, we continue to see that Cape linger across portions here of the Midwest and into the Ohio Valley. So places like, Iowa and Illinois and southern Wisconsin could, very well see severe weather also, which again, the Storm Prediction Center, doesn't have a severe weather threat this far out, but, we could very well see severe weather across this area that you see right there. So, those purples, like I said, do indicate around 4,000 to 5,000 joules per kilogram. Those reds indicate anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 joules per kilogram. Those oranges that you see and they would indicate anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 joules per kilogram, and then those lighter blues that you see right there indicate anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 joules per kilogram. Let's go ahead and now take a look at Wednesday. Now this is the farthest out we're looking with the Cape, but this is pretty much going to be for Wednesday, like I said, which will be in about 5 days away from now. And as you guys can see, we will still have a lot of Cape to work with. Not as much as what we have been seeing, but this is still very extreme amounts of Cape that you see right there across the Midwest into the western Ohio Valley. So again, those purples that you see right there indicate anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 joules per kilogram. Those red colors that you see indicate anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 joules per kilogram, also, but, those orange colors that you see indicate anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 joules per kilogram, and then those, light blue colors that you see indicate anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 joules per kilogram. And I kind of messed that up a little bit, but those, purple colors, like I said, actually indicate anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000 joules per kilogram, if that makes a little bit more sense. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the final thing, and this is pretty much Colorado State University. The reason why we're using this is to, look far out, and even though I told you guys that the areas that had the highest Cape will likely see severe weather, doesn't mean that will just be the area to see see severe weather because, as you guys can see for Sunday, the Colorado State University does want to show some pretty high chances of severe weather. So those red colors that you see could indicate an enhanced risk of severe weather potentially getting issued, which probably means we will be seeing severe weather on Sunday. We just don't know if an enhanced risk is really going to get issued by the Storm Prediction Center. But since it is there, it is theoretically possible that one could get issued on Sunday, so we will be watching that day. On Monday, that actually starts to ramp up even more, but it does turn out to be a little bit more widespread, and it does include a completely different area. So the Great Lakes and northern Ohio Valley could also be in for some pretty big severe weather as we do head into Monday, which again, I know those areas I pointed out in High Cape, which were mainly across Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa, not had the most CAPE. But, even though those areas have the most CAPE, we could still, see severe weather in other areas, like I said, and that's also determined by, how much dew you see, which is pretty much the moisture, and even how much wind shear you see. But even on Tuesday, we could also see some severe weather. This one actually wants to show one developing across New England, which is pretty, rough on if we're really going to be seeing one there or not. I don't think one is going to get issued across New England because, one, it's rare. We have actually seen quite a bit of those, while I was out of town. So, again, I'm sorry I didn't keep you guys updated with that. But, we could very well see severe weather, somewhere in this area depending on, how things look like as we head closer. And then on Wednesday, that continues to shift a little bit off to the east. Colorado State University doesn't really want to show any severe weather across the Midwest or Ohio Valley as we do head into Wednesday. It wants to show it more across the East Coast, which is also possible. But I do still think, we may continue to see severe weather across the Midwest, Ohio Valley, Great Lakes. So something to still keep an eye on. But that was the end of this video, guys. I very well, appreciate you guys watching my videos and doing all this. And like I said at the beginning, if you guys, are wondering what stream you guys like best, you guys can let me know down below in the comments. But like I also said, make sure to like and subscribe to as well. If you guys haven't already, that is definitely one of the important things that I really need on this channel, and it's completely free, guys. You guys don't have to do, anything to subscribe. It will just add to your subscriptions, and that's it. But, it will also, very well help me out, like I said, if you guys will please subscribe to my YouTube channel, but also don't forget to like that video, and of course comment down below if you haven't already.